your project gotten to the practical completion stage? If yes, then we need to prepare a penultimate certificate for us to be able to pay the contractor. Welcome back again to Engineer Tina Academy. If you are new here, you know how we do it. Subscribe, share, and don't forget to leave a comment. Now, for this project that we have, this apartment, Desco apartment, we have gotten to the practical completion stage and they want to prepare a penultimate certificate. But before we prepare that certificate, guys, remember we have three types of certificate. We have the interim, we have the penultimate, and then we have the final payment certificate. Now, this is the data we have according to what was in the BQ. This is what we have, and this is what we are going to use to prepare the certificate. As we can see, we have excavation, foundation, concrete, walling, ground floor slab, BRC, preliminary, superstructure, roof, plumbing, electrical, fitting, finishes, and landscaping. And then we also have the amount that was in the BQ and then the percentage completion. As you can see, the percentage completion is 100. So we've gotten to the practical completion stage. Now, what happens first? We need to prepare an interim certificate. And then from here, we can be able to prepare the penultimate certificate. I've done videos on preparing an interim certificate. I think we have two on our channel. We have two videos. So we are going to go through this one very quickly, as our main aim is to prepare a penultimate certificate. So this is the data that we have, and then there's 10% retention. Remember, we said that we talked about that. Every time we prepare certificate, we must retain 10%. And then we have the previous payment certificate, which is 20,500,000. So previous, this is what the contractor has been paid. Now let's start by preparing the interim payment certificate. Let's start preparing the interim certificate. So we have the item for excavation. The amount in the BQ is 600,000. Percentage is 100. So percentage due to be paid is 600,000. Foundation is 1,050,000. 100% completion. So what is to be paid is that 1,050,000. Remember what we said is this times this divided by 100%. I did not see the need for doing the calculations because we had done them. Foundation walling is 1,350,000. 100%. What needs to be paid is 1,350,000. Ground floor slab is 980,000. 100% completion. What needs to be paid is 980,000. BRC is 560, 100% completion. This is what needs to be paid. And then we have preliminaries, that one. So, that is preliminary, 100%. This is what needs to be paid. Superstructure, the same. So, if you can look at all these, they are 100% completion. So, if it is the amount that we have here, 100% of it is the amount that the contractor needs to be paid. So tabulate that one, tabulate for superstructure, roof, plumbing, electrical, fitting, finishes, and landscaping. Up to this end, then let's find the total amount due. So we are going to add from 600,000 from the first item up to the item number 13, which is 1,020,000. We get a total of 27,350,000. So that is amount due. Now, amount due, we retain 10%. Remember what we said? For every payment certificate, retain 10%. This acts as a security for you as a client. In case of anything and the contractor doesn't want to come back, at least you have a 10% somewhere. So 10% of the total due, which is 27,350,000, is 27 million, 27,350. 10% of it is 2,735,000. So this is what we are supposed to retain. Now we subtract whatever we are supposed to retain, this 2 million, from the total due. So 27,350 subtract the amount that is to be retained, we get 24,615,000. So that is what we are supposed to pay for the. So that is what you are supposed to pay. But we had paid a previous payment certificate of 20 million. So the contractor at this stage is supposed to be paid 24 million less 20 million, so that is 4,115,000. So that is what he's supposed to be paid at that stage. Now, since we know what is supposed to be paid at that stage, let's proceed and see how we are going to prepare an interim. So before we prepare the penultimate, remember to write the amount of money in words. So that is 4,115,000 shillings only. This is what we have. We have here. So that is the last interim payment certificate due. Now, for us to prepare a penultimate certificate, remember we said when you are preparing a penultimate certificate, this is at the practical completion stage, whereby a half of the retained money is now released to the contractor. So whatever we have retained, now we are going to release it to the contractor. So half of it is 10%. That is 10% of the retention. What we had retained is 2,375,000. So half of it, that is 50%, is to be retained. So 50% of 2,750,000 is 1,367,500. So this is what we are releasing. So we are releasing amount due in this penultimate certificate. What we are giving the contractor is 1,367,500. Now we are releasing this penultimate, and then we are also giving him the interim certificate amount. That was what? So we write first that one in words: 1,367,500 shillings. So that is what we are releasing. Now we are releasing, as I was saying, we are releasing this amount plus what was in the interim certificate. So in the interim certificate, we had 4,115,000. 4,115,000, and now we are also giving the contractor 1,367,500. So we add the two, we find it's 5,482,500 shillings. This is 500 shillings, not 5,000. So you also write that one in words, that amount in words, and then remember it needs to be signed by the client and by the other party. So from there, guys, now you can proceed and prepare a final certificate. Remember we said at the final certificate, we now retain the half that remained. If this is what you've given, at the final certificate, we are going to give the client what remained. So half of this will be still 1,367,500. Remember, the final certificate is at the end of the defect liability period. So that is when we are going to release the other half. So guys, thank you for your time. Until next time, bye.